Hey everyone, just wanted to share some things with you all. Pretty much some personal collection updates, some things I'm submitting to PSA, and also um, showing off a large collection that I bought over the weekend as a vendor. So yeah, let's just go in with it. The Pokemon market is actually very interesting right now. A lot of alt arts and PSA 10s are kind of crashing off their highs from that like GameStop era where GameStop was buying a ton of PSA slabs. So now it seems like things are settling down. The only thing that didn't drop was probably the Umbreon VMAX, which it dropped a little bit, but relative to other ones, which dropped maybe like 20 to 40%. The Umbreon VMAX only dropped maybe like 10% from like 15k, sorry, not 15k, but 1.5k to around 1.3k is what it's settling at for the PSA 10. This is a very interesting market right now. But yeah, just wanted to share some of the cards I got. I do collect Umbreons, so someone did trade in this Umbreon Prime. Very cool art. I like how it's kind of like gold and black and just very awesome for my personal collection. And it's in pretty good condition, graded recently. It's just one of those cards you don't see too much of very often. Next card I have is this Legendary Collection Charmander that I graded myself, adding this one into my personal collection as well. It's a 6 because I think it does have like a little crease on it, but it's a very wonderful card and I like the entire evolution line. Another one, this is the Japanese 151 Charizard, full art, very easy to grade apparently. I never opened one myself. I still need the English one actually, but I'm waiting for the price to kind of settle down a little bit. But Scarlet and Violet era is very hard to grade, but the Japanese ones are pretty easy. And Evolutions Charizard EX. I didn't have this one in my personal collection, so that's why I'm adding it now. I also got a Stormfront Charizard PSA 7. For the vintage ones, the older ones, the mid-era ones, I usually don't really care about the lower grade. I just want it in my collection. And if I do have opportunities to upgrade this to like an 8 or a 9, then I'll usually take it and then sell the 7. But this is very cool. It's reminiscent of the old base set art. Lastly, actually I have 2 more cards. This is the Charizard EX that I graded myself. I bought this in another collection with like a Blastoise and a bunch of other like silver border hollow EXs. These are very hard to grade because of the all-around hollow, but it does have the Galaxy slash Cosmos hollow and it just looks really nice. It pops out. This one wasn't in the best, I think, centering, but still really want to grade this and just add this to my collection. Very awesome card. This one I got this past weekend at a show, and it's a PSA 10 Charizard. The guy originally wanted what, like $800 for it. I paid him $450 and we settled on $470. Well, I offered him $450 and then I paid him $470, which is pretty fair being a vendor. But he thought this was worth way more than it actually was. It probably went up and doubled during COVID time, but now it's sitting around 600-ish as the last comps on eBay. So was able to get this for $470 and pretty happy with that acquisition. Moving on, bought a large collection. A lot of the collection I actually put in my binder already. I'm trying to collect all of the so base Jungle Fossil, all of that is finished, but I'm trying to collect Rocket, all the gym heroes, gym challenge, and also all 4 Neo sets, all in unlimited condition, or unlimited set and not first edition. The first editions I'm usually gonna sell off just to kind of try to make my money back. So yeah, some of these were the extras. Got a Blossom first edition. It has a crease, unfortunately. Lane's Moltres. Like a lot of these are actually creased. The guy just gave me like a huge stack of top loaders. I didn't look at all the conditions, but I made an offer on it, and yeah, that's what I got. I got a really bad condition Shining Gyarados, unfortunately. This is like definitely damaged and like this, it looks fine in a binder, but it's like if you see it definitely went through some washing machine or something, and it's very interesting looking at the foil and seeing how it kind of how the card was printed and everything. But there's definitely no way of restoring this or doing anything to it, so it's gonna be one of those binder cards for some lucky collector. I got a very off-center Mewtwo. You can see that there's still the print dot. That's huge. I might send this to PSA and see what happened. What would happen with it. But a very off-center base set Mewtwo. You don't usually see too many of these. Some of the more popular cards like the EV Evolutions, these are all in LP. I might just keep them. I like LP and near mint vintage. So yeah, very cool. I got a first edition Skarmory. Like surprisingly, this guy isn't that expensive. Espeon, like none of these are gradable or anything, but they're still just really nice. Dark Blastoise, not in the best shape. Lane's Charizard. I actually got I think 2 of these. I think I was grading one of them. Yeah, really good condition. Not the most expensive card since they're Japanese, and in Japanese packs, if you didn't know already, you get a holo per pack. So it's very easy to get these Japanese holos. First edition Lieutenant Surge and the Magneton. There's some creases. Yeah, this one's bad too. I'm not sure what happened to this Venusaur, but it's still okay. This hoe is probably right next to that Shining Gyarados when it went through the wash. Really bad shape and a lot of creasing on this. And then some more holos. Huge stack. Like this stack was just ridiculous. I'm not even showing you the best cards either. These are just like all the holos that was included. So it's very nice to buy these for a slight discount. I mean, you want to try to make money too. So now it's like the old school vintage. Look at that crease on that Machamp. I have a creased Ancient Mewtwo. These are pretty cheap actually. And it's just like if you get a whole stack of these, it's okay to offer a little bit more. But yeah, generally you want to see what they want for it first, and then you can give them your number. Like I never own one of these legendary Dark Raichus. Like they have this in reverse holo, the Firework holo too. But this is very cool. Like it kind of shines really well, because this holo is not the Cosmos holo. I need to get a Charizard of that kind, but yeah, here's some more. Got some promos. A random Pidgeotto rare too. I actually don't know what the conditions are, but they seem okay. Great little lot. But what I got from this collection was some of it I'm grading, and you'll see what it is. So I'm actually doing 2 things. This pile is actually going to go to PSA. I had to look for like the best condition, because you want at least a 9 on the vintage holos, and I think these 3 were the only ones that were good enough for at least a 9. If I get an 8, I'll be disappointed, but it won't be the worst because people will still buy PSA. Got a Mewtwo GX shiny. I forgot one of my friends sold this to me because I thought it was in pretty good condition. Another Mewtwo. I love my gold Mews. Got one of these when it was a little bit too high. Now they're like settled for like $70, $80. It was really cool because it has a little Sylveon in the back, and it's like, oh, this guy's like the hacker, you know. If you played the game, yeah, you'll know who he is. And Master Ball Vaporeon. I don't know if you'll get a 10, but it's still worth a shot. Like it has some like a one little white dot, but still it's a Vaporeon, right? Got some more 151 Venusaur, Sylveon VMAX. One little tip is that if you like, some people will buy sequential, usually in the same grade, so I always put like Pokemon next to each other. So Sylveon VMAX, Sylveon V. This guy was in pretty good shape when I bought it too. Deoxys V-Star, also very cool. The Fat Pikachu with red, very cool card. I think this is one of the best cards out of Lost Origin. Raikou, Suicune. I should actually do this so they can be sequential. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Zeraora, Alt, from Galarian Gallery, I think. Yeah, Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery. Recently picked this up. I thought it was in pretty good shape. Centering might be a little off, but I think with PSA I can still get a 10. This guy was in pretty good shape too. Bought this, I overpaid for it a little bit because it was in good shape. And yeah, these were the cards out of this collection that were really nice. There's a shiny Mewtwo near mint. Yeah, nothing too much wrong with it. Maybe some white specks here. It can still get a 9. If I get a 9, I'll be really happy. Shining Raichu, also in really, really good shape. Whitening maybe on the corner. If I can get it, hopefully it's a 9. Like, one of these should be a 9. If not, I'll be pretty disappointed. But like, I'll settle for an 8 on one of these, but they realistically should get 9s. I'll tell you what this pile is too. Shining Kabutops, very, very cool. The thing is, I have another Shining Steelix, right? And the Gyarados as well. But these are not in the best shape. This Steelix will probably get a 6. Just from all that whining. You can see it, right? This Kabutops, probably, hopefully a 7. It has some issues in the corners. If I'm lucky, I might get an 8, but I think it's like either a 6 or a 7. This one could even be a 5, but they're still worth sending in because Shinings are just really cool. I just wish that Gyarados was good enough. Yeah, very cool. So these are all going to PSA. Now, I'm actually going to send these ones to CGC. The sad reality is, right, even though these are so nice, maybe back in the early 2000s, PSA would have gave these 10s. But now, it's like they're automatically going to give it an 8 just because they're vintage. There's a lot of times where I just see automatic 8s on otherwise good cards, like near mint cards. So I think CGC won't do that because their certifications and their pop control isn't really, they don't usually pop control. PSA does for vintage. So that's why I'm actually sending these to CGC. I haven't used CGC in a while, but I still think CGC will give them higher grades, which I want, right? Like, I'll gladly keep this in my PC if it's like a 9, even if it's CGC. But ultimately, people still want PSA, but I'd rather have a CGC 9 than a PSA 8. You know, so this one, I'm not sure if it's gonna get the best grade. Hopefully it's at least like an 8.5 or something. Or like at least a 9. Yeah, I could imagine it getting a CGC 8, which does suck, but it just, I don't like how PSA kind of gatekeeps vintage PSA 10s. Like, it's very hard for them to give a 10. I have a Houndoom first edition. This guy, like near mint, is like $300. It's pretty awesome. First edition for Alligator. First edition Pichu. This is huge. Very cool card. Very good condition too. Like, if I can get 9.5s on these, I'll be really happy. 2 Lieutenant Surgispheros. This, even though it's a Fearow, it's like a bad Pokemon. People love the art for this because it looks like the Ho-Oh that Ash first sees on the first episode of Pokemon. It looks like the Ho-Oh flying. Like, they should have made a Ho-Oh with this art. This kind of like, you know, like off in the distance horizon. But they never did. But they made a Lieutenant Surgispheros for some reason in this art. So that's really awesome. But maybe Ash saw this Fearow instead. So it's a very cool card in first edition. I got this in a not the same collection, but different collection with a lot of huge cards. Slowking, also really cool. It's I mean, it has scratches on the hollow, but it won't be like scrutinized as much as PSA, I feel, at CGC. So we'll see. It's really, really shiny, really nice looking cards. This is huge. Someone sold this to me damaged, and I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. It has a little edge nick. Hopefully I can get an 8. If I get an 8, I'll be really happy. It does have some issues with the hollow, but still, it's just beautiful. It's so nice. Another Lugia. This one was from the other collection. Really nice hollow too. Just Lugia is like, I started off with silver version, and Lugia was just like, Lugia was awesome. The silver version one had Aeroblast, and It was one of the coolest flying type Pokemon at the time, even though it's like psychic and flying. And I don't know why they have fire, water, and like lightning associated to the attack. And the attack sucks, by the way. It's just everyone likes the art. Next, Dark Blastoise, Blaine's Charizard. Yeah, these were from the other collection, another collection, not this one, another collection that I bought. Very, very cool cards. And this Shining Tyranitar is just kind of like my little experiment card. If you didn't know, I sent this to PSA, got a 5. I want to see what it gets at CGC now. It's not perfect. It has issues with the hollow, a black dot there, like I was trying to rub the black dot away, but I wasn't able to. So, actually let me see, I just saw a little, hopefully it's on the case. Yeah, it was on the case. I saw a little dot that I didn't previously see before, but just my experiment. Shining Tyranitar into CGC, and this was a PSA 5, so you'll know later on what it gets. Yeah, but definitely very, very cool collection. Just like I'm a vintage person. I'm a millennial, and these just scream like nostalgia to me. Lugias, Charizards. Yeah, these are just amazing to me. Yeah, PSA submission, not as much vintage, because I just hate what they do to vintage. I'm only getting these graded by PSA because they're just humongous cards. People will care about whether or not it's a CGC case versus PSA. But also, if I get bad grades for this, I might just crack them out and submit them to CGC. Who knows? But hopefully, if these get 9s, that's huge. I don't think they have possibility of getting a 10, but still, you'd want to hope. Yeah, so I might send these into bulk. These in for bulk. These in at a higher rate, maybe the $19 rate, or we'll see. I definitely want these to come back even sooner. And yeah, my next video probably will be, I have 2 other submissions that are coming back maybe like in a month. And then these ones, we'll just see how long they take. Thank you all for listening, and enjoy your day. I'm actually gonna go to Japan in 2 weeks, for 2 weeks actually, and I might buy some cards there and show that off next time too. So let me know if you like these series, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm very happy that I got so many subscribers recently. I went from like 250 to like I think close to 315 now. So it's just been growing. So I'm glad everyone likes this content. And also, if there's anything you want to say, like constructive criticism or anything, let me know too. And follow my Instagram. I usually do a lot of sales there. I'm usually doing card shows as well, so please let me know. Thank you all and have a nice day.